guess I could start a whole new podcast called Pastor Bob's Dating Service. Pastor Bob Yenta. What do you think? How to get a Christian girlfriend. Next on Pastor Bob's Coffee Break. Agape, love at full volume. The best kind of love, God's agape love. Having a little bit of Joe Mama today. My favorite blend of all of our 9 blends. Great, they're all good. And having that, all of our coffee right here, different sizes, K-cups, 5-pound bags. Our mugs, our t-shirts, our posters. We are metal. WeAreFamily.com. Dear Pastor Bob, I've been single for most of my adult life, and recently I've had thoughts of how would I go about obtaining a Christian girlfriend. Now I know that sounds somewhat off the wall, but I'm tired of being pegged as that one guy that's always alone. Can you give me some insight, brother? I'm happy to. So, I get it. I really do get it. I've never been married. I'm still single. I'm 71 years old as I'm doing this podcast. And I didn't die from it, by the way. I've had a great life. And it still is. And I feel very fulfilled, and I'm single. Now, is it for everyone? No. But it's not a death sentence. You won't die from it. Yeah. So what about that? How do you go about getting a girlfriend? Or should you? You know, some people say, well, I'm just going to do nothing and just let God bring somebody to me. And, you know, in my observation over the years, it's almost the way it works. I know. You know, I've seen so many people that they're trying so hard to find the right person, and then they quit trying, and that's when they find the person. Because sometimes God brings to you the most unlikely people that you weren't looking for, and it's the person that balances you, and it's perfect, but we don't always see it. But then, what about that? Should you get married at all? Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 7, looking at verses 8 and 9. And he says, but to the unmarried people and to the widows, I declare that it is well, it's good, it's advantageous, it's expedient, it's wholesome for them to remain single, even as I do. But if they have not self-control, restraint in their passions, they should marry. For it's better to marry than to be aflame with passion and tortured continually with ungratified desire. Some people have a little stronger sex drive than others. And that's what it's saying. If you can't control the passion, and if it's impossible for you, and don't make excuses. Some people say, oh, yeah, that's me. It's impossible. Everybody has one. Everybody goes through this, but if it is way out of line and you can't seem to control anything and it's all you think about, that's what he's saying. But he starts out with, to the unmarried people and to the widows, and widowers, by the way, too. He says, I declare that it is good, it's wholesome for them to remain single. And Paul says, even as I do, he was single. But if they have not self-control, restraint of their passions, then they should marry. And so the first thing you have to ask is, do I really need to? And a good reason to get married isn't because you're tired of being pegged as the one guy that's alone. I get that part, and I'm pegged that way. And there are rumors all the time that go around about me, that I'm gay or that I'm secretly sleeping with women that I'm not talking about, or, gosh, it runs the gamut. And And I've had those rumors about me all of my Christian life. And they still happen. Still. And you'd think people should get it by now. But I've been called to celibacy, and I was, after being engaged 4 times. Yes, I tried to get married, wanted to, but God had other plans, and I'm so glad I didn't, because this has been something I didn't understand, something I would not have chosen on my own had God not called me to do it. But folks, he says if you're unmarried, it's good to just stay unmarried. At another place, he says you can devote more attention to ministry and to people and to other things when you're not married. So there is that side of it too. But don't be so quick to get married. Don't start looking for a girlfriend. You know, if you're involved in the church, and church meaning people, the body of Christ, you're going to meet a lot of people. It's the best place to meet a spouse if you're supposed to have one. And folks, I wouldn't, as long as you are social, as long as you're meeting people and you're meeting the right kind of people, if you're supposed to be married, you'll find the right one. God's bigger than that. But folks, the first question is, should I? Yeah. Don't forget, you are blessed. So go and be a blessing.